Welcome to this special edition of LUTV News. I'm Samantha Glenn, here to give you a closer look at how the arts are unifying people in the St. Louis area. Whether it be through song, dance, acting, or other artistic expression, there's no doubt that the arts have the power to connect the community. In this episode, you'll hear from the proud owner of a popular dance venue.
Everyone in St. Louis's grandparents and parents all danced here, met here.
A community leader who uses his talents to share powerful messages.
To celebrate, yes, we have differences, but let's look at the commonalities.
And a woman who inspires others by teaching her lifelong passion.
You don't have to stop dancing and dancing well just because you are older.
All this and more, up ahead. The first venue we're going to take a look at is a historic gem of downtown St. Louis. In the heart of the South St. Louis Business District, Casa Loma Ballroom has been an epicenter of song and dance for over 85 years. Casa Loma offers one of the largest sprung dance floors in the Midwest, as well as live music and a bar. The ballroom has provided a casual atmosphere to meet new friends, learn new skills, and make unforgettable memories for generations.
Casa Loma is St. Louis's last grand ballroom, the last of the eight. The rest of them have all been torn down. It has a wealth of history and good times for people in St. Louis. Here it was built in 1927, and it was actually called the Cinderella Ballroom. And in 1935, two guys bought it. They changed the name to Casa Loma, and it's been that way ever since. The music at the Casa Loma is changed a little bit over the years. You got to kind of stay with what's hot and what's not. Today it's swing. It's the old-time swing, the jitterbug swing. We have a wealth of swing bands in St. Louis, like Miss Jubilee and the Humdingers.
The band got started by the drummer and myself. We were actually swing dancers. So we started off playing right here at Casa Loma. When we play out, we typically have drums, upright bass, guitar or piano, and then myself. And then there's also the horn section. Anything that swings, that has a good like shuffle kind of feel to, makes you want to get up and kind of do that rhythm too.
It's fun to listen to her music and try to dance and express how the music makes you feel. I think it's interesting to see how people in fine arts can grow and learn together, as well as have fun and have a good time. So it definitely is a learning experience to do anything in the fine arts together. So even if you're not a great dancer, you can still have a good time.
It attracts people who are really into something more unique and special in a social environment, where they really get to engage with other people, and also people who just want to have fun by doing that. In St. Louis in general, it really brings people together who have family members who have been here. Even myself, my grandma used to dance here. And it kind of makes you connect to other people in that regard.
Well, I tell everybody, are your grandparents in town? They say yes. I go, call them up tomorrow and just say you were at the Casa Loma. They will be beaming over the phone, or if you see them in person, they'll probably give you a big hug, because averaging 2,000 people a night, everyone in St. Louis's grandparents all danced here, met here, stories that go on and on. It hasn't changed. It's been that way forever.
People from all over the country visit Casa Loma Ballroom to enjoy the historical atmosphere. Next, let's take a look at an event organized specifically for local community members. The organization We Love St. Charles hosts a talent show every year that brings the city together through fun competition. In past years, the Lights of St. Charles Talent Show has been held at Matthias's Lot Church and put on in early spring. The event provides community entertainment, but it also raises money to support a good cause. Let's take a closer look.
Sometimes it's hard to use your musical talents or your acting talents or something. It's like, how can that help my community? And this is a very practical way to take those passions that every individual has to help raise money for this amazing cause. The whole idea was for it to be an annual fundraiser for We Live St. Charles.
We started We Love St. Charles in 2009 with the hope of being a consistent portal for need. We wanted to put volunteers along with people who were in need, in desperate need of love, for the purpose of city restoration. So that's our heart. Our intention in doing the talent show is not only to raise resources for families, but also to provide a fun atmosphere for people to be together in our community.
It's not like a cutthroat competition. It's a fun night. The purpose is to raise money for our community. You come into the main auditorium. You're going to see the raffle baskets. You're going to see concessions. You're going to see all the biographies for the talents that you can read up on. Then our Master of Ceremonies, Kevin Schulte, is going to get the night started by warming everybody up.
We love St. Charles.
We've got a lot of great acts. What I'm excited about too is the variety of the talent show tonight. You got your typical acoustic guys rocking out. We have 3 siblings that are going to be playing 2 violins and a piano together. We have 2 acrobatic gymnasts that are performing tonight too. It's not only just the admission tickets that are going to fund the We Love St. Charles charity nonprofit, but also we have a bunch of baskets that were donated. We're drawing names out at the end of the night to see who wins the basket. And all those proceeds will again go to We Love St. Charles.
Thank you for supporting.
There is a judging sheet that the judges will use. So it's based off of the entertainment value, it's based off of stage presence, how they command the audience, how they captivate the audience, and then raw talent. Are they talented?
I think the talent show concept unites facets of the community because it shows that we're a very diverse community with diverse gifts and talents. And so when you compile all of that diversity in one room, it's a celebration.
There's something special about a community coming together to appreciate individuals' unique artistic talents. Up ahead, I'll speak with one local artist who is passionate about using the arts to spread a message of unity. Dancer David Alexander shares ways he encourages community change throughout the area. Up next.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing.
I watch golf with him.
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Welcome back. I have David Alexander here with me to talk about his experience sharing his passions with the community. Welcome, David. It is great to have you here.
Great to be here, Samantha.
Well, I know you to be a man of many talents. To begin with, can you share a little bit about your interests and your passions and how you allow them to overlap?
Sure. So I started tap dancing when I was 6 years old, and I also enjoy poetry and have dabbled a little bit in film. And so for me, I love being able to take poetry and put it to dance, or dance and combine it with original music. So I love being able to collaborate between my artistic giftings.
Yeah. When did you start using your love of the arts to help unify the community?
You know, I think it was definitely, for me, just in high school, I saw the opportunity to connect in with choir and take on opportunities through the school that allowed me to speak into community. So Breakdown St. Louis was an organization that I began to engage with in high school and speaking to 30,000 students in St. Louis during my high school experience.
Yeah. And your high school was Westminster Christian Academy, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Can you explain your involvement in Westminster's Night of the Arts and what the night really means to you personally?
Yeah, so Westminster puts on this event called Night of the Arts, and basically it is an event that celebrates Black history, and it gets the entire community involved through the arts. So you have choir, you have jazz, the jazz band plays, actors come on and share kind of historical scenes throughout the past. And so I was involved and brought in to be able to tap dance and kind of share as an alumni. And so the event is really about bringing together people to celebrate Black history, to look at the past, yes, the brokenness, the reality of the brokenness, but actually to be able to really celebrate what we're able to see that the Black community has been able to bring to the forefront through the arts.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful. Now let's take a closer look at what the Night of the Arts is all about.
We welcome you to the 4th Annual Night of the Living Arts. It is Westminster's Black History Month program. We call it the Night of the Arts because we invite all of our fine arts to take part in it. Last year, I think we had about 75 students, and this year we have 140 students. Yeah, it's grown a little bit. We invite the choirs, band, orchestra, drama. This year we have the varsity dancers, varsity dance team involved. We get alum to come back. David Alexander is one of our alums.
So the Night of the Arts is an opportunity to look at Black history and authentically look at Black history, but not just from a brokenness standpoint, but from a breakthrough standpoint. Yes, we have differences, but let's look at the commonalities.
My favorite part about the Night of the Arts is just being able to participate in a culture that's so rich and just have fun. Part of the reason I joined choir is just to have that community and to be able to make something beautiful together.
So we always do some sort of traditional African-American cuisine, soul food. We try to capture some of the African-American tradition and experience it, and it's a great opportunity and everybody loves it. The Living Museum is basically, we have students who have been given characters. They will recite something about that character. So someone will come along and say, who are you? And so they'll say, I'm Maya Angelou, and they'll talk about when she was born, what she did, great achievements.
As I look at African American history as a whole, I see it as a story not just for the African American community. I see it as a story that's for all different types of communities.
Anytime you have to use the gift that you have in order to serve someone else, I feel like that's what it's intended for. I love the fact that it's something that we do every year. And every year we have more and more kids involved, more and more families, and more teachers. And so that was, that was always my heart.
That's so great to see you back at your old high school dancing and participating in that event. So how does it feel being back in that environment and just seeing how far the event has come and how it's grown?
For me coming back, I was actually on the diversity committee team at the school, and to come back and see kind of the fruits of our labor, to be able to see the amount of increased diversity at Westminster as a whole, and the fact that there were nearly 100 students, if not 100 or more students participating in the event, it was really definitely emotionally stirring for me personally. I was able to see that the school was had made efforts in moving forward and actually seeing a more diverse community, and they were really thriving through celebrating with the arts.
Yeah, that must have been amazing to see.
Yeah.
So next I want to talk about the organization Breakdown St. Louis. I know you mentioned it a little bit earlier. I know it's another organization you have very close ties to.
Yeah.
Can you explain for me what is Breakdown and how does it use the arts to share a positive community message?
So Breakdown St. Louis is a group of young people that actually get trained and equipped within their artistic talents to be able to go back into local high schools and middle schools and share about drugs, sex, and alcohol through using the arts. So it's a drama presentation that combines acting, dance, motivational speaking, and video testimonies to really bring home a really powerful message.
Yeah. So how are you able to collaborate with the team at this stage in your life?
You know, when I was on this team, I mainly was a dancer. I would do a solo tap dance performance. And after graduating from high school, personally, I wanted to stay involved, so then I became a speaker. Recently, my role has just been making a connection. So for the last 3 years, we've had a desire to develop a team in North County. So I was able to help make a connection point with the current new director for that initiative.
Yeah, well, let's get an inside perspective from the members of Breakdown's new North County and St. Louis City team.
Okay, to the left, to the right,
that we are breaking down walls of bondage that teenagers have that are preventing them from realizing their full potential. Breakdown is actually an international movement to help teens make healthy choices around sex, drugs, alcohol, self-harm, and violence. The primary way that the message and the vision of Breakdown is shared is through theater, dance, spoken word. For the St. Louis area, this team has been around for about 10 years underneath the vision and the leadership of Jenna Immergut.
Teens are my passion. I made all the wrong choices as a teenager, and so as a result, I just wanted to provide a product that could be utilized to help teens maybe not go down the path that I had gone down. EPIC is our national touring team, and so they take the Breakdown message and travel. Each year they compile a new program based on their individual life story.
Everyone is able to express themselves in different ways. And so when you see someone who can express themselves the way you express yourself, then you gotta connect.
It has been a vision and a passion of mine to start an expansion team that would be able to be intentional to reach the students in North County and St. Louis City.
Anybody that's going through anything, anybody that has struggles in their life, we're here to try to show you that there's another way to go. There's always an alternative.
We have had adults end up coming up and sharing with us that it had impacted their life even as an adult. The arts are just so powerful. I feel like they break down all sorts of barriers.
So regardless of where you come from or what you've been exposed to, you can recognize beauty.
I can definitely see how Breakdown empowers people to make positive life choices. It's just such a great message that they're able to share. So to close us out, David Alexander, can you state how you feel the arts in general have the power to unify the community from your perspective?
Sure. So I like to tell people that I believe every person is an art piece. Every person is creatively made and crafted. And so when we're actually able to look at art, we're able to have an appreciation that brings everyone naturally together. So when someone is expressing art, when someone is expressing art specifically to share in bringing together the community, it even brings that artistic expression to a more powerful forefront for impact.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here. It's great to see how you're impacting the community through art. Up next, an inside look at a St. Louis dance studio that proves you're never too old to pick up a new hobby. Right after this.
When I was 6, I had one thing on my mind. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball every chance I could. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to learn the signs of a stroke fast. F-A-S-T.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke. F-A-S-T. Fast.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing.
I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Age is only a number for the women at Dancing Through Life Studio in Baldwin. The studio is St. Louis's only adult dance studio and is dedicated to adult instruction of ballet, jazz, and tap dancing. Christine LeBlain DeHart founded Dancing Through Life with adult teaching in mind. Her adapted teaching style and specially designed facilities is what makes her studio so successful. Through dance lessons, the women have found more than just a fun pastime. They found family.
So many ladies are taught tap especially, but when we get over 50 years of age, they teach it like we're old. Well, I'm 68 and I can still tap with 30-year-olds, and so can a lot of my other ladies. I want people to know that you don't have to stop dancing and dancing well just because you are older. Adult studios just do not go normally, simply because it's a whole different way of training. At this studio, I have been teaching adults only since 2007. For 45 years before that, I taught children. The most classes are in tap. I also teach what is modified ballet and jazz to ladies, which have gotten very popular.
I had some problems with my back, and she suggested that this might be, kind of a good thing to do. I'll be 77 next month. But I'm still dancing, and I'm loving it, and I think one of the big reasons is the personality and the talent of Christine. She's got a gift, and she's sharing it with the whole community.
I really think that we're all sent with a mission. I think that by giving that talent, it's a charity, it's giving of ourselves.
It goes in age from 18 to 79, which is me. It's really freedom to be yourself and to just get out there and dance. On my 60th birthday, my husband gave me a present of tap shoes, and he'd sign me up for lessons. He didn't know that that present was going to cost him so much, because that was like 19 years ago. It's what releases your inner spirit, and you hear the music and you have wonderful movements to put to it, and you can act and you can dance, and the freedom of movement, and all your friends and people around you. They're a great group of people, they really are. I can't express it enough. It makes me so happy,
The St. Louis area is full of unique and talented individuals who are bringing the community together. Through social dance venues like the Casa Loma, people are invited to learn new skills while making new friends. Local talent shows like the Lights of St. Charles Talent Show encourage artists to debut their talents to a supportive community. Culture is celebrated by the youth through events such as Westminster's Night of the Arts, and positive social messages are being shared. Through Breakdown St. Louis, passionate teens are using the arts to tell moving stories. And of course, the adult-only studio, Dancing Through Life, is reminding people that you're never too old to do what you're passionate about. In the St. Louis area and beyond, the arts have the power to unify the community in a beautiful way. I hope you enjoyed this special edition of LUTV News. Thanks for joining me. I'm Samantha Glenn.